everybody, and welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2003. One of my surprises already showing up in the main menu. So NASCAR Thunder 2003 continues to be one of, if not the best NASCAR game of all time. So in previous videos, I've looked at Baguette's textures for the game. I then did a career mode, which I'm sure some of you have watched before, because that was definitely one of the more popular things I did. But since then, while I was on break, I did a couple things else to the game. I downloaded a DB edited version of the game, which is going to have some of the drivers we see. I'm blanking on the name of it off the top of my head. I had literally just seen it. It was on Reddit. I will have a link to that down below, as well as Baguette's texture pack. But I've also added some textures to the game myself. It is a work in progress. I'm currently working on just getting higher res graphics for the world itself. And we'll kind of go over that in a couple of the races we do. So let's go ahead and jump into the quick race menu here. One thing you might notice is I changed some of the driver pictures, like Mark Martin here, so it actually has him in his suit. Sterling Marlin as well. You might also notice I added the Winston Cup logo to the top of the screen, but if we scroll down here, you can see I got Dave Blaney added to the game, as well as Brett Bodine in the Hooters car, Stacy Compton and AJ Foyt's ill-fated number 14. I know there's a couple more in here. We've got Buckshot Jones in the 44. Now, I went in and edited the files as well from that Reddit post, just because in the NR 2003 game, the 02 models, the Dodges specifically have this weird blue tape. So I just went in, got rid of that so it matches with the rest of the cars. And then we've got Hut Strickland added as well. So a nice little variety here. Now, I've always been partial to Hut Strickland's car. I remember Jerry Nadeau coming oh so close to winning the Sonoma race that year. So we'll go ahead, select him. Not going to be anything different here, but one of the tracks I've been making changes to is MIS. So we'll go ahead and load it up.
Welcome, everyone, to Michigan International Speedway for MRN's coverage of the Pepsi 400. Michigan always produces some great racing. What do you think, Barney?
This track is wide and fast. We may even see some guys go 3 and even 4 wide. There are several grooves to choose from here at Michigan.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And interestingly enough, we get Brett Bodine on the pole. So one thing you may have noticed is the grass texture is something I've been working on, as well as this MIS billboard to the left. Just trying to get a little bit more realistic in terms of logos that are showing on the track and on the wall. If you pay close attention to some of the billboards, you may notice those are changing. Adding the Winston Cup logos back in, getting the colors a little more accurate to what we would see in real life from these logos. I also added in some new textures and sponsors to reflect more accurately of the sponsors, not only for the track, but for the 2002 season. Trying to get those logos as close as possible. Phoenix, maybe we'll check Phoenix out after this. That's another track I've been working on. As well as Sonoma. That stutter you saw in the little pre-race intro thing, that's just the emulator doing its thing, loading textures and such. Had that issue before, and luckily it's not a big issue. But man, every time I come back to this game, I'm just reminded immediately how good this game looks, especially on the Dolphin emulator with these texture packs that kind of brings the resolution up. Especially on this 44 car, this 11, these are some great looking cars. And being able, especially with the GameCube, just being able to go in and edit game files so easily, because you're just editing JPEGs essentially. is such a great thing, and I absolutely love that we're able to do that in today's day and age. But while I've been doing all this talking, we have been working our way towards the front of this pack. We are now up to P5. I see Kevin Harvick out in front. Looks like we got Rusty Wallace in second. We dive it down the inside. A little bit of contact there with the 30 of Jeff Green. Nothing too bad, though. You can see the interiors have gotten a glow up as well with some textures. Looks a lot better. And everyone just has a NASCAR logo inside the car now just because of the texture pack that I'm using for that. Because there are some... Oh boy, oh, I didn't mean for that. I didn't mean to spin you, Rusty, but I'm going to. Came down a little too early and he was there, so just ran right into him. Come back to the caution flag as we have a car in the pits, but I've seen some textures that add, you know, more modern cars, so people are adding Toyota and stuff. I know there's one person who's working on like a 1998-99 mod or something for this game, so it's just so cool to see essentially a console version of NR 2003 from the same time, you know, getting the same love nowadays. As you can see the Goodyear blimp there, that got a little bit of a glow up. Man, I really didn't mean to do that, Rusty. I'm so sorry. You might notice there's a little bit of a red ring around each of the flags, only a little, and that's just where the overlap of that Winston Cup thing is. However, I think it personally looks much better than the EA Sports logo. Gives it a little bit more of a time-accurate flair as well. I know some people have put like the TNT logo there or the MRN logo since they do the commentary for the game. I thought a nice Winston Cup logo would look good. So we're going to take it off into turn 3 here, coming to the white flag. See if we can get past Kevin Harvick. Go sneak our way down to the inside here. Whoa, Kevin! Kevin loses it out of turn 4. White flag in the air in the Pepsi 400. Tell you what though, it was one thing I'm really proud of is adding that Pepsi 400 presented by Farmer Jack logo to the grass, because you have no idea how hard it was. I mean, trying to get logos or anything from 2002 is so hard because, you know, the internet was still so new and we didn't have the preservation and the high quality stuff that we have now. It's really incredible how new really all of that is. So sometimes you gotta do some real digging and editing. That's one of the reasons it kind of takes a while to add anything to this game. But we're gonna hold off the 30 car, come across the line, take the victory, and nearly cause a pileup in the process. But let's go ahead and get to victory lane and see the changes that I added there. So the Pepsi 400 logo has been added to this victory lane as well. Luckily, each victory lane is unique depending on the race, so we can do this. If you wanted to change the logo altogether, you could. Or have the same victory lane for each race. You also see we got Gatorade on the car now. Man, this just looks so good with these textures, huh? So we got the Winston Cup logos up top as well. One thing to note with the editing of those is it is one thing that's just multiplied. So unfortunately you couldn't have like just one really big logo. It is going to be 3 times on there, but either way, it looks fantastic.
Joe Moore and Barney Hall from the beautiful Arizona desert at the 1 Mile Phoenix International Raceway for today's Checker Auto Parts 500K. What sets this track apart?
Phoenix does make for some interesting racing because no 2 turns are the same. It's a wide track and pretty fast. Some even call it the world's fastest 1 mile oval. We should get our share of some exciting action out there on the track today.
Bill Elliott owned and drove for his own race team for 6 years before joining Ray Evernham in 2001.
You know, driving for your own race team is a tough deal. I think Bill was happy to get back to worrying about one thing, being fast out there on the racetrack.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Phoenix is probably one of the tracks I've put the most work in so far, simply because it has one race, so it was kind of the easiest. Plus, there's just so many logos here, and you can really see them on the front strands. We got Discover card on there. I had a Coca-Cola banner as well, if you might have seen. As now we're racing as Dave Blaney. As we're gonna pass the 44, which we were just racing as. Take a look at the side too. You'll see him on the edge of the track here. Oh, sorry, Dale. Added in some Chevrolet banners with the Taz logo, because I absolutely adored that campaign strategy at the time. Don't think that Bosch logo I've done anything to. Don't know if I will. Not everything, of course, needs to be edited in this game, but man, having some of these new other logos just give it a nice flair. You know, and just like a nice pop of color to, you know, it's just a fresh coat of paint on a, what, 20-plus-year-old game at this point? And that's really all it needs. You know, there's so many people who have said you could just release, you know, NASCAR Thunder 03 or NASCAR Thunder 04 with today's cars and a new thing of paint or whatever, and it'd still be a great game today. And I think that once again is just showing here. And it's thanks to community members who add stuff like this 77 car in. And, you know, having the ease of use of things like the Dolphin emulator to just be able to replace textures, upscale them, and add in whatever you want to the game and truly make it your own. This is a unique version of NASCAR Thunder 03 that I don't think in my wildest dreams I could have imagined having. One thing I would still like to be able to do is I saw somebody had said they were able to edit the DB file for the career mode and was able to alter the schedule. That's something I'd love to do, because the schedule does get, you know, a little boring after a while, especially when you got tracks like Tiburon in the game or some of these fantasy road courses. It'd be nice to be able to mix it up, or even just mix up the order of the races as well. So still something I'm trying to figure out how to do. I know the DB editors are specifically for Madden, and they can be a bit tricky and can sometimes corrupt a game, so that's why we only see a lot of small things right now, because, you know, even though the emulators and the GameCube themselves are pretty old, you know, oh, as we hit the wall there, the technology is still advancing, and we're still getting there. And of course, when it's not supported by any of the companies themselves, it is a complete community thing. So get underneath Jeff Gordon here at a turn 4. Send it into turn 1, run up the track just a little bit there to hold him off. So now Mark Martin's going to be coming up on our backside, but Jeff Gordon has a run again on the high side, going to hold him off there. As we head back into turn number 3, though, car is a little tight. Could go with some loosening, but although we're not going to really get a chance to do that in just a 9-lap race, going to let Mark kind of go here, because I need that inside line here for 1 and 2, especially with how tight the car is. Tell you what, that bump from Ryan Newman there actually kind of helped us turn the car a little bit through the corner. So if Ryan, you want to do that again. Underneath Mark here, hard on the brakes here. Through 3 and 4, coming to the white flag. Johnny Benson trying to make a move here, see if he could win a race. Of course, his one and only win coming in real life around the time of this race at Rockingham. So towards the back half of 2002. Now we're trying to hold Mark Martin off, who gets up on those curbs. Johnny B looking to the outside. Through 3 and 4, we're going to go 2 for 2 today. And we're going to win at Phoenix and get to see that victory lane, which I don't think I really changed, but we'll find out. As you can see, much like with the 44 car, got the NASCAR Thunder 2003 fire suits on all the guys. I'm just noticing in the background that all of the hands are orange. I don't know why that's happening. I don't remember editing any skin textures. That's something I'll have to look into. That's a weird bug, maybe glitch, I'm not sure. But all these people got really weird tans on their hands. So we rocked the Winston Cup cap. It is interesting that's a different hat for the driver compared to the crew, and the suits seem to be the same, but either way, that Winston Cup hat looks awfully nice. So that'll do it for this quick look back into NASCAR Thunder 2003, and this game's just going to keep getting better and better as things are continued to be added, whether it's by myself or community members. Again, I will have links for all the texture packs that I'm using that are a part of this in the description below. Please go check them out and support them. They are absolutely fantastic. And I will see you guys in the next video, possibly for more NASCAR Thunder 2003. Bye!